Let's see if we spot this around real quick. Hey guys. Oh, got too much stuff on me today. This is a Central Civilian Auditor again, guys. Back out on location. I'm currently at the Bibb County Court Complex off of Walnut Street. And going live because I'm out here on location by myself. And usually that doesn't go too well. So, yeah, it's been a long time, guys. It's been a long time. I've been working on many different reports, and some of those are still not completed yet, guys. And I'm actually following up on one. I've already came up here and did an audit. I have not released that information yet, but I'm back up here to do a follow-up on this, where we had an officer actually create public records and then destroy them. And I've been going back and forth with the state on this already. So we're just going to go up here today to file a complaint. And you guys are my safety net in case they decide to misbehave. Just to show you what I have. I do have my CooCam 360 camera. We'll see how that works out. Also have my body camera. My Sony digital camcorder. And another Sony Sanyo. Oh, excuse me. Another camcorder, which is all on and recording, just in case, just for equipment lock. Anyway, I don't expect anything to happen today, hopefully not, but anyway, they were pretty anal last time I was in here, so let's go ahead and check it out, guys.
Going up.
Double doors, one comes in, one goes out. Let's see.
Going down.
They also have a dress code for entering in here. This is where we're going to be going here in just a minute.
Sir, you can't stand there. Sir.
Alrighty.
Sir. At least acknowledge me. You can't stand there. You can't stand there. You got to either come on in, or you can't stand there. You got to stand on the other side.
Is this the public lobby here?
You're blocking the door. Yes, you can't do that.
The door is here.
No, sir.
Door is there. I'm not blocking any door.
Somebody come out. They're gonna swing on you, and that's our office right there.
I'm behind the doorway, so no, he won't hit me.
I'm asking you to go on the other side of the door.
Is this the public lobby here?
I'm asking you to come on the other side of the door, so I don't tell you.
You're not telling, you're asking?
Well, I asked you like 3 times, and you didn't say it.
Okay.
So you gonna do it or not?
Either case. This is a public lobby, right?
You're not answering my question. What I'm saying to you.
Well, because you're the one giving orders, I'm asking, is this a public
Well,
lobby?
I asked you to move, and you're in the way.
I did move from that location to this location.
On the other side of the door.
I'm okay. I'm okay here. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm not entering that area.
All right, this is like I asked you, please.
You said this is for law enforcement?
The place has rules.
Yeah, every place does have rules, but this is a public.
Every place has different rules.
This is a public lobby, is it not?
Every place has different rules.
Well, rules aren't laws, so.
Well, will you move, please?
There is nobody here. Can you quit
Just move on the other side, please.
on the other side of this rope here?
Yes.
I'll move, but then I'll be blocking people coming in for regular
Well,
use.
that's why you need to come on in. You can't just stand there. You stand on the other side of that door.
No, I'm fine right here.
Well, no, you're not found right there. I actually moved.
Okay. Asking,
I just asked.
or you give me a lawful order.
I did not say that. You did not.
No, asking and lawful orders are two different things, brother. You know, I both know that.
Did I not use the word ask?
Okay, and
Okay, would you
I,
move, please?
I would like to deny that request.
Say it, please.
Okay, well, I moved from the location you asked me to move from. You just want to give orders to people just because you want to. So,
But most people move like we ask.
well, I'm not a sheep. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not a tyrant.
That's not like a weapon.
What's?
Like a weapon to me.
Are you serious? Okay. Well, first off, before you go down that road, I am handicapped, and this is a approved handicapped medical device for my walking. So don't even try that. Are you serious? Wow. Wow. So you're the kind of person to get people shot. Are you serious? What's your name, sir?
What's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name?
What is your name?
What is your name?
Excuse me, what is your name? Is it your policy to identify yourself, sir? Paul.
Can you read?
No, I'm not approaching you because you're already trying to accuse me of this as being a weapon. Paul. Okay, Paul what? Sir, I appreciate you trying to keep him under control, but can you tell him that, that he needs to calm down a little bit more than that? This guy's a little too aggressive. You're going to accuse me of saying I've got a weapon on him and then entice me to approach him with what he's considered a weapon. It's crazy. Crazy. This guy's a little crazy here. I think I've talked to you before, didn't I? Yeah, you're the lieutenant, right? Yeah, I've got a complaint I need to submit today on Deputy Kelly and actually on you as well too.
Okay.
So, is your office, is your superior here?
Yeah, come on in. I'll get you from
Who's your supervisor?
Major Walker.
Is he here today?
I'll see if he's here. Come on.
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Wow.
for doing that.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Do you have any complaints from the citizen?
I do. Okay. How are you? All right. Bye-bye.
I'm actually going to need 4 of those.
So quiet.
Is the major here today? Does anybody know the major's name?
Anybody, what now?
The major here today?
He'll be right with you,
Okay.
Lieutenant Daniel. I don't think.
Yes, Mr. Dunn. How can I assist you?
Yes. I'm glad you know my name, so I don't
Yes,
even
sir,
have
I
to
do.
identify who I am. Number 1, I've got 2 complaints I'd like to submit to you. One against
Our complaints are
sheriff.
taken in our internal affairs department,
Okay. Well, I'd like to submit a complaint to you.
and it'll be
Verbally.
forwarded down to there.
That's fine. You can do that.
You may write it, sir.
I'd like to give it to you verbally.
No, sir. It must be in writing and be processed.
I can give it to you verbally. That's what the state statute states. So.
Sir, it's not gonna be taken that way. You can write out your complaint, and it'll be forwarded to our internal affairs.
Well, I'd like to give you the verbal complaint, and you can
I'll
decide to do
listen.
whatever you do. Sergeant Kelly, excuse me, Deputy Kelly, I think that's what you call those guys, right?
He's a deputy, yes, sir.
I filed an open records request for his video camera the day that I came in about a month ago. And that officer was there as well, too. Everything okay? I just saw you wave
I didn't
somebody
want
on.
to fear our discussion was them coming in.
That's fine. I just saw you waving at somebody. So
It's our bailiffs were coming in. Come on.
that's fine. Under the Open Records Act, I requested for the video, and I talked to that officer that just came and got you.
Mhm.
Asked him to make sure that he'd secure that information, and it was deleted.
It was not deleted, sir. There was nothing on his phone because I checked his phone.
Okay, I had video proof, which I'd be happy to show you that. Actually, I can email a copy of that to you
I've
right
seen
now.
the video. It was forwarded to me through our internal affairs from your initial complaint that you filed.
Did I send the original video to you?
It was forwarded to me by our Internal Affairs Department.
Because I've never sent the video out. Not that I'm
I
aware
was
of.
shown video where he took his phone out and he acted like he was recording, but he was not. Nothing was recorded, no pictures were taken because I looked at his phone.
Okay, so the reflection of the video that I caught captured in the window that clearly shows that the record, it says REC at the bottom, recording.
It was no recording, sir.
well-
There was nothing on his, as I stated, I checked his phone and there was no recording or images on his phone pertaining to the courthouse.
Okay. The second complaint again is that I do video evidence and I've submitted that, and I've resubmitted it back to the state so they can review that. And then the complaint I've got today is your officer up here. He is starting off with me, the attitude. He's accusing me of my device that I'm using as a cane, as being a weapon here, and then telling me to approach him with it. And I think he's trying to cause physical harm to me.
So that it can be checked to make sure that it's not a weapon, anything.
No,
that's in this courthouse
he was
is not a
accused
weapon.
that he said it looks like a weapon after
It
we've already
could
had
be-
exchange.
Until it is checked, it could be construed.
Okay, well, I'm
as
not
possible.
approaching, I was not approaching him and his hostility that he had towards me already, giving me unlawful directives already in the public lobby. I don't appreciate that. And then for him to accuse this as a weapon and then tell me to approach him with that, that's dangerous to my safety, sir.
No, sir, it's not.
Absolutely
Because we
it is.
were asked to approach, no check anything that comes in this courthouse.
Okay, but I haven't entered in through the security area there. I'm not approaching somebody who is
There's your
accusing
form,
me
you're
of
welcome
that.
to fill out, sir.
So this is falling on deaf ears then.
We use the same standard protocol for anyone entering the courthouse, sir.
Is to give unlawful directives to people, tell people to move from one spot to the next spot, and then move
So
again,
that
then
we
move
check
again.
further to make sure that no weapons are coming to this courthouse.
He hasn't asked to check it. He said it looks like a weapon after we've already gotten into a heated exchange to
Sir,
escalate the
your
situation.
key factor in life is trying to provoke people to get a response.
No, my key.
No, you're going, I listen
No.
to you, sir, you're going
Okay,
to listen.
I'm not going to sit here and let you try to accuse me of something
Sir, you
that's
can
not
have a good
true.
day.
No, I'll listen to you, but you're not going to sit and accuse me of something that I'm not doing.
Okay?
Okay,
Then
your
you have
job
my
is an
apology for making an assumption that you're doing so. But let me clarify this to you, sir.
Go ahead.
You may take these complaint forms, you may fill them out, you may submit them. I have listened to your complaint. That complaint was investigated, it was sent through our internal affairs. we
And found
investigated.
nothing wrong doing. You know,
Exactly. So therefore, you can appeal to the sheriff if you'd like, because that's who internal affairs answers to.
okay. Is the sheriff here?
He's in the office at 668 Oglethorpe Street, sir.
So that would be okay.
Where the
As-
jail is, yes.
Gotcha. So what's the sheriff's name?
Sheriff David Davis.
Davis. It's interesting that you got video evidence that I submitted, plus you've got security cameras showing him walking around videotaping, yet your determination and investigation is that there was nothing done.
Per
On that part.
request, his phone was checked, there was no recording of pictures on his phone.
Well, I'm going to say I assume that it was deleted or moved to a location that wasn't inspected because from the video footage that I have, it showed that he
There
had it
again,
on
sir,
there.
now you're making assumptions.
Yeah, because I have video proof that he was recording. So
Right.
you're saying it's not on his phone. So then it's like if it was on his phone, and then when you looked at it, it's not on the phone, then either you didn't look for it properly or it was deleted.
So you're questioning my ability, sir.
I would question it.
So
Yes.
now you're making assumptions, sir.
I would question it. Yes.
Okay, well, let me make this assumption to you, sir. We check everyone equally that comes in the courthouse, but weapons, any violations of coming in this courthouse. We treat everyone equally.
I don't know because the lady that was standing right there a second ago, he wasn't yelling at her. He was just yelling at me because I was standing there.
Sir, you were asked to approach so that could be checked for a weapon.
No, he didn't ask me to
And you-
approach that. I asked him for his name. He said, you can come up and get it. And I'm not going up there after you already accused me this could be a weapon.
That can be construed as a weapon, sir.
Yeah, so can a paper clip and a rubber band. I mean,
Yes.
anything could be.
Yes, sir, it could.
Okay. But why would I approach somebody who's aggressive, that's escalating a situation?
It was not, to my knowledge, I didn't hear of anyone with that now.
That's
I
what
can
I'm,
look into that.
that's what I'm explaining to you right
You're
this
not-
second.
See, you're not letting me finish talking.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have sat here and listened to you. Are you gonna listen to me?
If you,
It's a
go
yes or
ahead.
no question.
There's a lot of yes or no questions. Yes, go ahead.
Okay,
I'll listen to you. On anything.
good, okay. Nothing was brought to my attention, any disturbance in the lobby.
That's what I came in here to.
Sir, you're not letting me finish talking.
Go ahead.
So, why do we need to continue this conversation?
Go ahead.
I've told you what you may do. You may file the appeal through the sheriff.
Okay, no, we're talking about this situation here that's happened just right now. That's
Sir,
what you were talking about.
if you want to fill out a complaint form on that, you may do so.
I'm glad I'm done.
And we'll investigate it.
Why can't you address that now?
We have procedures for complaints. You want to file a formal complaint, that is a procedure for filing a formal complaint.
I'd be okay if you addressed it with him right now.
Sir, I will talk to him.
Okay. Is that you're gonna wait till after I leave and have a conversation with him, or?
I will investigate it. I will talk to people that were out there.
Okay.
Okay, you've made your point known.
What's my point?
Your point that you have a good issue with that deputy.
Okay.
I understand that.
I didn't. What's his point with me though? What's his problem with me?
You have something that can be construed as a weapon in your hand. Whether that be a metal staff, aluminum staff, wooden staff, it can be construed as a weapon
It's a walking cane.
with a video equipment built into it.
Okay. So how is video equipment considered a weapon?
It's
It
not,
only
allowed,
ca-
it's not allowed through this courthouse beyond the security area.
Oh, that's not true. It's not allowed into the courtroom without the judge's permission. This is all public area. Once it's screened through, it can be videotaped, recorded, anything.
The judges request nothing go beyond that until it's clear.
Well, until it clears, right? But once
Through
it's
their
clear, but you
particular courts, yes.
just told me that once it goes through the security, you can't record past that, and that's not true.
Sir, okay, misstep
Okay.
on words. Okay, you are correct, but I know the judges have also asked for it not to be allowed beyond security. I know what the ruling says, but I know what the judges have asked.
Okay. So which one are y'all enforcing? The law where you're allowed to, or the judge's request? I just want to know because if I'm going to continue to record, I need to know where
You're
what
not
you're
going
going
to
to.
record past that security area, sir.
So you're saying that you're going to, is that ruling in writing from the judge?
Sir, again, you're just trying to get a response from me, and you're not going to do so.
No,
As I've stated,
you
our
made-
conversation is very.
You made it very clear that the judge has made an order saying that it's not supposed to be recording
Sir,
past
our
the security
conversation is
checkpoint.
about to end.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay?
No,
Now,
Well-
you have your complaint forms here. You're
Now,
more than welcome to take them.
I'm asking a question. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You made it very clear that the judge has made an order past the security
No, I
checkpoint.
said that if you're going to quote me, I said the judges have made a request.
Made a request. Is that considered a lawful order?
No, she didn't. See, she just wanted to tell me because I told her.
And if it's a lawful order, is it in writing, signed by the judge?
To my knowledge, it's not.
Don't do that.
Okay. So it's a verbal request that he made to yourself?
And I said, well, somebody-
To the person who was in this office before me, sir.
Okay. So what I'm asking, is it a law or a judge's decree written out and signed saying that I'm not allowed to record past the security area?
Sir,
And if I do,
I've
what's it?
answered your questions, have I not?
No, you haven't. Or at least you haven't
Okay.
clarified it, so I don't
Let me
understand.
explain this to you. Our
Mhm.
conversation's over. Okay? Here's your complaint
Okay,
form. You
so
can
if
file-
I go-
Make sure, my name is Major Walker, so make sure you file one against me also. Okay?
Why do you
Have a
want me
good
to
day,
file
sir.
one against you?
Because I'm not gonna sit here and entertain your constant questions of trying to provoke someone.
I'm
into
not
a
trying to
response.
provoke, I'm trying to get clarification.
I
You
have answered
said,
your questions.
so if I record there, beyond the security, after I run it through security, is there any problems? Because that's a First Amendment protected activity in a
Sir,
public area. I'm asking, is
The
that,
judges have asked no recording on the floors
that's,
by personal devices.
okay, so is that are you going to arrest me if I do so?
Sir, I recommend you have a good day.
I'm asking because it's a constitutional First Amendment protected activity. And it's in a
Not in
public
the
area.
courthouse, it's not, sir.
It is in the public lobby, sir.
Not in the courthouse. The
In
public
the-
lobby stops right down here.
Exactly. I don't plan on going beyond the public lobby, which is
when
the
you were here-
hallways and peeways and everything.
When you were here before with your friend, where you stopped at any time in that area right there.
You're saying something different than what they're saying.
Were you stopped at any time when you were in that area before, sir?
In the lobby
Yes or no, sir?
past the security checkpoint? No, I was not.
Okay. You
But
were
you're telling me
afforded that
something
opportunity.
different now.
Are there no courtrooms on this floor?
Exactly. I don't plan on going into the courtroom, but I'm planning on going around the public area. You're telling me once I pass security.
Just like your request for the video footage.
Mhm.
It's a violation of our security protocol. Okay?
Yeah, that's being looked into. That's being looked into.
And that's fine, sir. That's
Yeah,
fine.
Because
But
it's
again,
it's a public lobby and it's public cameras. And if let's say for
they're
instance,
public cameras.
okay, if there was a prisoner trying to escape through here and officers got a hold of an officer's weapon, something ensued there, and went out through the front door, wouldn't that information usually be released to mainstream media and be put on like the next like 5 o'clock news?
Some parts of it may be released as a part, once determined that could be used as part of the investigation.
Right. So,
As far as general release, no.
okay. But the question is that why does mainstream get it, and me being an independent news reporter, that I don't get access to these security cameras?
I'm aware of your YouTube channel. Okay. Great footage. You can do a lot of miles on your feet walking around. Complimenting you. But our conversation's done, sir. Okay? Here's your complaint forms.
Okay.
You're welcome to.
Who's your supervisor, Major?
My supervisor
Is
is
it
Colonel Evans.
Colonel?
Same building, 668 Oak
Okay.
Street.
I like to try to handle everything at the lowest level possible. And if you watch the videos, since you said you're familiar with my YouTube channel,
Yes, sir.
okay, you do understand, or you would understand, that I'm actually not out there trying to entice or provoke, as you accused me earlier of. I actually work with the local law enforcement, and I have several law enforcement friends that are out there that aid and assist me with certain things. That also help them with understanding different laws. And we made a lot of progress with working with local law
Okay,
enforcement.
but your way of doing things is where it could be changed, sir.
Like how?
You're just coming in and wanting to do this, that, and the other. That's not really good.
By coming in and looking at public access and public documents that's supposed to be readily available to anybody, that's not proper.
But just like now, you could have asked to come in and have a meeting with me and not have 4 cameras pointed at me.
Well, I have my cameras because, as you said already, that you have cameras that you're not going to release to me. So therefore, I have no proof of anything unless I bring my own cameras, as I did with Officer Kelly or Deputy Kelly when I recorded him taking photos and video of
As I
me.
stated, his phone was checked. There was nothing on his phone.
Okay,
sir.
what I'm saying.
There were some personal pictures of his family and things.
Well, I'm sure there was because it was his personal cell phone.
Exactly.
And he did make it very clear that I was not going to get that video from him. That's why I came here. But in either case,
Because he stated
one of
to
the
me
things,
that he
one of the things that
intended
I've,
to be recording him to actually be recording.
one of the things that I've observed that officers do a lot of is that they will use their personal cell phones to take videos and photos and sit in and start an investigation on somebody to identify who they are without going through proper channels. They are circumventing the whole investigation because you're creating an investigation to investigate who that person is. And by using your private cell phones, there is no public records logs to indicate any of that information. That's one of the things I've noticed happening a lot.
If you want to push for some funding to where the deputies didn't have to use their personal cell phones to be on call, to be notified of court cases, to have to use for their investigation, I'm sure they would be most glad to do that.
Do y'all not have body cameras here in the courthouse?
They're not allowed in the courthouse
Y'all not allowed to have body cameras up here at security or anything like that?
because the area is videotaped through
To the
overhead
CCTV cameras?
Mhm.
That doesn't make any sense. Now what about when y'all go out on patrol when you're not working?
Patrol
here?
deputies
I do have the
are
cameras
issued
there.
body cameras that have them, yes.
So how do we go about trying to safeguard that information on private phones? Like, for instance, let's say hypothetically, okay, and we'll go hypothetical because you said you've investigated and saw nothing on there. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but hypothetically, you have officers that create documents on personal cell phones. How do we as the public prevent that information from being destroyed or having officers in opening investigations without any, prior restraint or any the technical terms elude me at this point, but how do we maintain those public records if officers are allowed to use cell phones without there being any systems of checks or balances on that
Maybe you
specifically?
can provide legislation to a congressman or a state senator
Well, see, the
or
open
representative.
okay. Well, the Open Records Act already has that in there that those are subject to open records, but how do we, as the public, keep that information safeguarded? Because anytime an officer on duty or security officer that's working for the government creates public documents, photographs, videos, or stuff like that, that becomes public record. And anytime they sit there and delete it from their phones or destroy it, it's actually a crime under the Open Records Act. And I think it's 41-11-1. It's subject to actually a felony charges for destruction, for willful destruction of open records or public records and documents. They list it as, it can be prosecuted as a felony under that act. I'm not trying to push anything to that point. What I'm trying to do is get open and transparency amongst everybody and work with you guys to let you know, hey, there's a systematic problem that I'm seeing from department to department pertaining to certain things, and let's work together and try to figure out how to do these things together, and not to pit each other against each other. You know, I came in here because I was a little upset because of the way this officer was acting to me, and I wanted to express that to you. And you didn't come off with the best attitude and presentation when you first approached me. But I think we both have cooled down enough that we're actually having a cordial conversation at this point. Again, all this is that I'm doing is I'm documenting these experiences and trying to help people who have no idea what's going on out there with their governments to get involved with their governments. Like so, I've made a lot of change with working with Perry.
And if you want to make some legislative change, you can contact the commissioners.
Oh,
They're the ones who make the policy changes for the ordinance through Bibb County.
okay. So Bibb County legislators who I need to contact for that.
The commissioners change any ordinances that has to go through them to be approved or disapproved.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll talk with them. Is there anything that, in your opinion, that maybe I should suggest to them from a member of the public? Is there something that you guys need or that you've been asking for that y'all haven't gotten yet because of legislation, or they haven't pushed for some light body cameras for the courtroom?
They're not allowed in the courtroom.
There's a gray area on, when I say courtroom, I'm not referring to the actual where the judge sits. I'm referring to the courthouse. I apologize. I misspoke there. But for the courthouses, I mean, do you guys want body cameras for that? Or is there equipment that you guys have been asking for, like
The biggest issue we have is the need for more staffing.
staffing issues? And what was the other one I'm saying?
More staffing.
More
is our
staffing.
biggest issue.
Okay. And
More
is it
staffing and of course a pay scale and pay salary increase, but that's nationwide. That's just not our.
right? I understand that. Yeah, I worked for the federal government before. I understand the sliding pay scales on that. Is it that you don't have enough personnel on hand, or is it that you don't have enough schedules available? I guess
No, we have openings. We just don't have
enough people
people
filling the
applying
position.
due to
Okay.
the pay issue.
Okay. Well, maybe that's something I'll talk to them about and see if we can try to push that for you guys to help you guys. Because, I mean, you guys are doing a service for the public. You guys do deserve to be paid, a reasonable fees for what you guys are doing. I don't know what you guys get paid personally. I haven't looked into that yet.
I'm sure it's out there on the open records.
Yeah, it is. It's probably on the website too when you apply for the job
For
posting
the
when it
job
starts
position,
off.
yes, starting
Right.
salaries are all posted,
Right.
yes.
So,
For sworn and for jailers, whichever.
but yeah, I'll definitely check into that and look into that as well
And like I
too.
said, my supervisor is Colonel Lee. He works at 668 Old Court, same office down there which the sheriff is in. Same building, okay?
Well, I appreciate the cordial portion of the end of the conversation
Okay.
here.
Well, like I said, if you still want to file a formal complaint, here's the paperwork that you can take and file
Okay.
that way.
Can I email that to anybody? Is there an email address or is that just?
I'm not sure. At one point it was mailed, I'm not sure. There's the phone number out there. If you call, they probably would let you scan it and email it to them, okay?
Okay.
All right, on that last page down there. That's just extra work
Okay.
pages, okay?
That's fine.
All right?
Actually, let me just do a quick scan of it like this, and what I'll do is I'll just leave the paper here, and I'll just recreate it in the house. That way, I can just do it digitally. So that way, we can save paper in case somebody doesn't have the ability to print. If that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay. So basically, just like page 3, and then the same information down here at the bottom. Okay. It doesn't have any copyright or anything on this, so it's okay to recreate that.
So it's a general Word document.
Okay. All right, there you go.
All right?
Excuse me.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only other question I have too, that I wasn't able to address last time because of the issues that we had pertaining to last time. The public billboard that you have posted outside for the public for public notification and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not readily accessible for people who that may be impaired, physically impaired, have a disability to access the steps, and that they have to come through all the way around the building, come through the building, and then they have to go through security.
There's an elevator right to the side of the steps. Were you aware
No, that's what
of
I'm
that?
saying. Yeah, that's how I come into it,
Okay,
through the elevator.
alright.
What I'm saying is that they have to come up the elevator and then go through security in order to go outside to view the actual documentation that's outside for the public.
I can look into possibly trying to get more signage on that side. That's
But-
something I can look into.
Well, what I'm asking, not necessarily about getting more signage, but is other than, elevator around the other side, because it's not clearly visible for that part. But maybe to move the public records board up where it's not in a security area, where people who have disabilities aren't subject to security checks in order to view public records that are posted on the board, because the only way somebody in a wheelchair or that can't walk upstairs can see that is they're being segregated by having to go through security, or singled out and have to go through security, and they don't have the same what do you call that, the same they're subject to security checks in order to view that, where somebody who was able to walk up the stairs without any impairments to view the boards wouldn't be subject to security.
That's something I can look into.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to see. There's some things that they do very minor changes to this building or anything because of the historical factor of the building.
Right.
Which is what they're having to take into consideration with the new addition they're looking at building.
Mm.
But because they want to preserve this side of the old courthouse as the way it is, so I have to see if that's something that falls under that category.
Okay. Yeah, it's like maybe like something like, out here before the doors or something, so anybody could just walk in and look at job postings.
And that's what I gotta look at and see what facilities could possibly do with that.
All right. I'm not real familiar with the ADA policies or the laws on that. From my understanding, I think that may be an issue there, where one group of people is subject to security checks, but the other one's not. So it's not really.
But there's some of that with the ADA that falls under the grandfather clause, which
is historic, right? No, I do understand
Yes.
that part. I understand.
And
I'm not trying to push that issue. Just a suggestion, and if it's feasible at all, if that's a possibility.
And then that's something I can check with facilities, because that's who handles anything that would be moved or mounted or anything like that, or facilities would handle that.
And see, that's what started it off the last time I was here, because all I want to do is come. Because when I go look to see what information is readily available, public information, and provide that information out, and just look at different things. And for me to look at the public records, I had to come in through security, go through security, and walk all the way out the door. I had to have an officer escort me, and then.
Well, and actually, I would prefer to be down at the tax office, because that's what most people come to look at, is the tax records and properties that are up for auction.
Right.
Which the tax office is a whole separate building. So,
Yeah. Well, you gotta have job postings there too, which I normally put on.
well, even the majority of that is put on the website now.
That's true.
They don't hardly even send out postings to go on that board anymore.
Yeah, I think when I looked, I think it was from 2018 still up there.
Exactly. So, and if you
Little
check
outdated.
our HR department, that's what they've done. They've made everything basically computerized and online. Even to apply now, they don't want to even accept a handwritten or a copy printed out document. They want everything online.
Right. Well, what about people who are, like, say, that are homeless or low income, that don't have computers or access to the computers? They would actually come get those printouts. So I mean, there is a need
But they
for
would
it
have to go to HR to do that.
if they can make it down to HR.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. HR is in a separate building. It's up in the old City Hall building,
Which is over on the Overthrow?
700 Poplar Street,
Poplar. Okay.
where the commissioners are.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, that's all I've got. I am going to continue to record just a few more minutes out here, and then I'm going to head out of here. I'm not going to approach security checkpoint because he's already a little hot, and the other sheriff that was behind him, or deputy, excuse me, I kept hollering at him, saying, Paul, calm down. So that just tells me that he's a little too aggressive.
Okay, well, if you hit the little green button right there to let you escape out of the office, okay?
Again, appreciate your time. Thank
All
you.
right,
Oh, you said green button.
It sticks a little bit, you know, kind of push the door hard, push the door hard. Hang on.
There you go.
That sticks a little.
It's a double-handed thing. All right, thank you. How you doing? All right, guys. Hair check. Anyway.
Yes, sir. Anything at that point?
All right, guys. Got a question. You got a public board I'd like to view. Am I allowed to move this to access to see that over there? Move this little pole here so I can go look at on the board. All right. Well, then I need an escort over here then so I can look at your public board here. I'm sorry? I can't, I'm hard of hearing. I can't hear you over the noise here. I apologize. So you're not capable of making that decision to, if I can walk across this to go look at that? How long have you been a sheriff? Definitely. Right, to make sure that nobody goes around that side. But I wanted to look at the record. All right, I'll go talk to, what's your name? Excuse me, what was your name? Okay, we're going to have to fix this real quick. Thank you. Yes, can I speak to the major again real quick, please?
Nathan Walker?
Or the other one, it's fine.
Or
Either way.
Lieutenant Daniel?
Hey, I apologize. None of the deputies out there are educated enough to make a decision about me looking at the bulletin board you got up here because there's a rope there. And so I had to come here and ask you guys if I can walk behind the rope to look at the public boards. And then I asked for the gentleman's name that was giving me those orders, and they've all refused to identify themselves. So,
What's going on here? I'll walk with you.
okay.
We got a little incident going on that had anything to do with you. That's why, we're kind of in the back right there. Where
That's
you
fine.
want to look at?
Well, I want to look over here, but I'd like to get this gentleman's here with the glasses on, the middle's name, and the guy's name over here, and this gentleman's name right here, Mr. Hothead.
Okay, we don't call names, ain't no need for that. This is Corporal Brown.
Which one? The one in the middle?
Yeah.
I don't need him. He's been good.
This is Officer Balcom in the middle.
Officer who?
Balcom.
Balcom?
This is Officer Smith, yeah.
Smith. Okay. Well, I say hothead because one of those officers sit there yelling at me and accusing me of carrying a weapon and everything, and tell me I can approach him to get his name, and I just didn't want to get shot today.
Yeah, I'll escort you. You'll be perfectly safe.
Okay. So is this typical to have an escort to look at the bulletin board here?
Nobody ever asked to come back here, so, you were first.
Really?
We haven't had to cross that bridge.
Uh,
Most of the stuff is all outdated. We really need to update most of it.
Right.
This is just labor laws and things like that.
I see that the labor laws apply to you guys
Yeah.
mostly. I was telling the other, so you got public records here, jobs here, postings here.
Yeah.
Well, 2013,
Yeah, we need to-
2011. Your outside had 2018, so it was more current. But I was talking to the major about updating the boards to have it access, for the ADA people, so they don't have to go through security to look at those records out there. This would be a good spot since you've already got old information here. You could bring it in here.
And most of our jobs we haven't posted online on the website too, on the Bibb County website. So
Yeah, it's,
they're updated there. This is just.
That's the current website right there. www.co.bib.ga.us. Okay.
And so all the jobs, the internal and external jobs are posted on there. The updated one.
All right. Well, if y'all have, and I'm not going to ask you because, and I'd prefer you not to respond because I am streaming live currently on this. But
Hey, everybody. Good to see y'all.
But-
Maybe I'll be a star one day.
hopefully,
I can give out my new picture.
if you got one, go ahead. If you have audio, and again, I don't want you to answer that question, I'd ask you to go back to review the incident with this gentleman hollering at me today, anyway.
Okay.
And again, I didn't approach security. I'm not trying to do anything unlawful. Again, it's just trying to get public information and trying to work there.
And I'll talk to them and just strive customer service best we can, They deal with certain, sometimes they'll have hotheads, real hotheads come in here, and they'll have to deal with that. And then our average citizen will come in, so they have to tone it down a little bit, you know how it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's an individual, you know. And if I came in here and started cussing, oh, he didn't cuss at me. I won't mind accusing him of cussing. But you know, he was giving me unlawful orders, telling me I had to move or asked me to move. I said, well, and I moved from what he asked me to move at because he was talking about blocking the door, and I wasn't blocking the doors, either one. But he asked me to move, and I did decide on my own accord to move. And then he started asking me to move again, and it's like, okay, look, I mean, at what point? Where can I stand at? And he's like, well, stand right here in the walkway. I'm like, well, I can't do that because then I'm impeding traffic of the flow of the business. So it made no sense to me at all. And then I asked him for his name, and he said, that looks like a weapon in your hand. Automatically trying to escalate it. And that's way uncalled for. And then I asked him for his name again. He said, would you come up here and get it? Well, you and I both know. An officer said, I've seen the videos, he's got a weapon, and then you're approaching the officer with a weapon.
Sometimes they say they're human. They say things they probably shouldn't.
Yeah, but he's got a gun on his hip, though, and he's calling me out for a weapon that I don't have. And again, anything could be used as a weapon. Again, rubber band, bubble gum, toothpaste. I mean, look at the TSA. I mean,
I'll address that.
okay, but it was very similar to the first incident that I had that I told you about last time. I didn't feel very welcomed and warmed and greeted here, and I know that they're trying to protect the building. I know this, but this thing called operational risk assessments. I've worked both of those sides before, and I come as open as possible and display as much as possible so that nobody can be accusatory or have any questions about what's going on. You know, y'all may question my motives of why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, we may not always agree on how I'm doing things or how you guys are doing things, and that's just a difference of opinion. But when it comes to matters of the law, we all need to be on the same page on that.
Well, I know you're live streaming, but I do have that incident.
That's fine. That's fine. I wanted to look at this real quick.
Okay.
I've got it on video, so I can always go back and review this on here. And that's it. But maybe if this is something that people can walk up here, maybe you can inform them that people have access to it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I appreciate it and the time.
Come back and see us anytime. They're always open. Well, 9 to 5.
During 9 to 5. All right. We'll
Not
do.
holidays.
Not a holidays?
Not holidays.
All right. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, guys. I'm still here. I didn't read any of those comments. So I'd have to go back and look at the video to see exactly which one it was.
So I didn't put that time, if I don't put it on, I'm forget about it.
Yeah, Lady Bird. This is live stream. I've got other cameras and stuff that I'll be running this off of. Georgia activist, how you doing? All right, guys. All right, attorneys and general employees this way. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna head out of here now. Bye. Anyway, for those who are wanting to come here, Georgia Law OCGA 1611-127. No exceptions. Guess that means most of MMA fighters aren't allowed here either. Alright, guys, well, that's it for now. I'm sure they were watching that. It's interesting how they always have my name after filing an open records request. They can get my information, but never seem to have the information that I'm requesting.
Going down.
going down. Anyway, so we've got the information. I live streamed the video. Sorry, I'm trying to get some of this stuff cut out.
First floor.
Again, only reason why I'm live streaming this, guys, is because I was out and about on my own. And last time I was out and about on my own, things didn't turn out too good. But it is a very scary thing when you have an officer, a sheriff, accuse you, escalating a situation, and being the aggressor in the conversation, and then accuse you of a weapon, that you have a weapon on you, and then tell you to approach him with it. That's a very, very, very dangerous situation, guys. Anybody who's doing this, y'all need to make sure that you are being patient. Stay calm, cool, collected. Think about these situations, because if you were hot-headed and wanted to prove a point by walking up on him, he already accused you on video that you had a weapon, and you're approaching him with that weapon. So they have every right at that point to defend themselves. It's a very dangerous thing, guys. Very dangerous thing. And that's just my personal opinion on that. You guys saw the video. Please comment, like and subscribe if you want to. I'm going to keep the live video up for a little while so they have the opportunity to review it and see the actual interaction, and then I'll go through on my other cameras, which won't be so shaky, and post that information later and do like a little video swap on that. I do think at the end of the conversation, when the major didn't feel so attacked, that he did calm down and we were able to have a conversation. And one of the things he did mention was that they're understaffed as far as the shifts and stuff, so they're probably pulling a lot of watches up here, which is probably making them go kind of stir crazy, which may be something that we need to look into as the public. So I don't know if having more officers on all the time, or hiring a bunch more officers is the right solution. There's a lot to go with that. How many officers are already on location or in the department? Are they utilizing scheduling to the best of their ability? There's a lot to consider with that. But, maybe we'll take a look into that and see. Anyway, does anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns before I end this live stream here? Give it just a second. Nope, nothing's popping up. All right, guys. Well, again, I appreciate your time. Oh, can we meet to do an audit? Georgia activist says, yes, we can do that. We need to get together and do one day. And that's true. Never go outside of your camera. As you heard him saying there, is that we'll never get access, at least with this courthouse, you'll never get access to any camera information here in the courthouse unless they choose to release it to you. And they've denied my request for video cameras last time I was here, that happened in here. And to include the cameras on the outside, citing that it's for security purposes and safety of from terrorists or something like that. And under the Open Records Act, there is a provision that allows them to exclude for that, but it's too broad. It's way too broad, because the state allows them to do that under that. Oh, it's a terrorist or security reasons, and we've been hearing everything's for security. But for security purposes, that information should be released when requested by the public. Excuse me. Why have I been away for so long? I've been asked. A couple of different reasons. I've had some personal things come up in my life that I was handling, and then I'm also still working with the Fort Valley case, and the Marshallville case, where both times I was illegally arrested. I guess I'll make a public announcement now that for those who've been following me for a while have noticed that I was arrested in Fort Valley for doing the exact same thing I was doing here: constitutionally protected activity, First Amendment rights, and the officer escalated it and trumped up a couple of different charges, and the city got behind it and decided to charge me as well for it. And anyway, the case was dismissed, and again, it was a big ordeal. The DA dropped the charges, and then the the chief of police wasn't happy with the DA dropping the charges against me. So the chief of police decided, or he may not be called the chief, I think he's the director, I think that's what they call themselves. He wasn't happy with it, and so he decided to try to press charges against me, or wanted to press charges against me after the DA dropped the charges. I'm still currently trespassed from Fort Valley, and I've done everything I could do to work with them, talk with them and communicate with them, and they decided not to do any resolutions with that. So we have taken it to the next level. I have filed in court against Fort Valley for depriving of my rights underneath the First Amendment and Fourth Amendment, false arrest, and we are going forward with the Fort Valley. I am currently considering it with the Marshallville as well too. Marshallville, there was a lot that happened there in Macon County, where the police chief, I can't talk. The police chief did the same thing, had me arrested, solicited charges, and then I was attacked by the sheriff in Macon County for my First Amendment rights. So I am currently looking for a lawyer that's going to work with me with the Marshallville. And so I've had a lot going on. I like to do complete audits. I like to try to work with things and not just put snippets of stuff up there, just because I think it does a disservice to you guys of follow-ups and what's going on. Like I said, this one here, the only reason why I went live is because I was here by myself today, and I just didn't want anything said that wasn't said, or not have any video evidence of what actually happened, as what you saw today of the of the police officer accusing me of having a weapon and then telling me to approach him with the weapon when he's agitated. I can't get over how dangerous that could have been, because I know people get upset and frustrated and would have walked up to him and said, yeah, well, you're not going to tell me your name, I'm going to walk up and see what your name is. And all he's got to do is pull the gun out and shoot you, because he's already identified and claimed it being a weapon, and that's his perception, it was a weapon. So by him inviting me, that felt like that was entrapment. And again, this is personal opinions. You guys saw the video, you make your own determination and conclusions from that point. But I hope they do watch this video and see how these interactions occurred from the live stream. Like I said, this will definitely be up for a little bit. It's going to take me a little while to go back and do the video from the less shaky syndrome thing. But as you saw at the very beginning, I have my walking cane or walking staff with me with the camera, and a bunch of different camera equipment, because there's so many different angles and different things I need to do, and I holding the live feed, I've got to figure out a way to do this a little bit better and be able to review things. But yeah, it's a learning progress, and when you're one hand short, it is what it is. But, all right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I've jumped on a lot. Again, updated on Fort Valley. You guys saw what happened here. If anybody decides on their own accord to call, please be cordial. Be respectful. But you're definitely within your rights to call and complain if you want to. That information was on the little bottom of that complaint form if you want to contact them, I'm sure. And again, I'm not asking or soliciting that, but that's up to you guys if you want to. And unfortunately, we have to put these stupid disclaimers out now. But it is what it is. But guys, thanks for coming online. Sorry I've been gone for a while. I'm hoping to get out there a little bit more often. It's going to be off and on at best at the moment, but we'll continue pushing forward, guys. Anyway, Thanks again. This is Central Civilian Auditor signing out. And we'll catch you next time, guys.